now I'm going to hand over to John McArdle, who's going to tell us about how changes to welfare are affecting communities.
Hi there. As we all know, the welfare reform bill went through a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be nothing less than a cataclysm for sick and disabled people. We did everything we could to oppose it in the run-up. There were 7 votes in the House of Lords against it. As you probably know, the government just said that it was a matter of financial privilege, and it's gone through. And we expect the same thing will happen with legal aid, with the legal aid bill, which is in the House of Lords at the moment. So what are we doing? Well, we're still fighting back. We had a big victory a couple of weeks ago. We've been lobbying the LMCs, the local medical committees of GPs in Scotland, to accept a motion that the work capability assessment wasn't fit for purpose, and that it should end with immediate effect, and that motion was carried. We've managed to get an identical motion into the LMC's conference in Liverpool on the 26th of May, so we're hoping to make it national policy, the BMA's national policy. We're also trying to get the nurses on board and physiotherapy, people who work as healthcare professionals, so-called HCPs at ATOS, just to make it, as unworkable as possible to carry out these evil assessments. The next thing that's coming up is personal independence payments, the abolition of DLA and its replacement with personal independence payments. Osborne's already said that there's going to be a 20% cut in the allowances in the budget for disability. They're redefining disability. Basically, sometimes it wouldn't be going too far to say that pulse. They'll say that you're fit for work. It's no joke. Now we know that housing benefits are going to be cut if you've got a spare room. How are people going to be able to cope? If you've got £65 a week to live on and you've got to make up £14 a week or perhaps even more, you're just not going to be able to cope. So that means that there's going to be a massive increase in people in the sheriff courts, the rent arrears. So we've got to insist from our councillors that they refuse to evict anyone. So all I can say is that we're fighting on all these different fronts, and it's really overwhelming. But I think we, unite all our campaigns together. We should have more meetings like this where we can meet and talk and network and really pile on the pressure. I'd just like to say that I'm going to be standing in the local council elections in Edinburgh for the Scottish Anti-Cuts Coalition. We oppose all cuts. We think that disabled people, all the cuts that are happening, we know that there's £120 billion of tax which is owed to the Exchequer that isn't collected. We know that Dave Hart, we've been on direct actions in Glasgow. We took over the office of HMRC and Deloitte with Citizens United to protest about this. Even Deloitte itself says that 40 billion goes uncollected. There is money there. This whole thing that we're all bankrupt and that we've got to pay is a complete lie. And the Labour Party's not making this, getting this message across. Where is the opposition? We've got 2 weeks after the Welfare Reform Act came in, we've got the likes of Liam Byrne came out and said that we would be tougher than the Tories on young people who refuse to take mandated work. We would stop their benefits for first striking you're out, you get 6 months loss of benefits. But what do they expect folks to do? Go and beg on the street? I mean, our jails are going to be filling up very quickly. This is the biggest sustained attack on working people, on ordinary people, on disabled people since the 1930s. So, God help us if we don't all join together and join each other's campaigns and support one another, because only we ourselves can win this battle. Nobody's going to come riding on a white horse for us. We've got to organise in our communities. We've got to take back power. And that's just what I've got to say. Thanks.